Hey guys, after an unexpected break, I am back. But then today I realized I should reflect on the time I had off. And that is not because I wanted, just because of the ill health. And when you are unwell, there are so many things that will go in your mind about your work, about your life, and about your mental health. All these things are the components. Now, in the world of HR that I am working, I always think, how to make other people's lives better. But at the same time, it is really important to keep our lives better as well. Now, obviously, sometimes we live in a world which is full of hustle and grind. We think there are KPIs, there are objectives, there are goals, so we need to achieve them. But just because of that, sometimes we will overwork ourselves. When you overwork, you are not delivering a positive image to the entire community. At the end of the day, there is nothing important than yourself. So you need to take care and look after yourself. So stay tuned. The first sign to know that you are overworking yourself would be to understand that it is so hard for you to disconnect yourself from work. I mean, long time ago, Sigmund Freud came up with this idea. When you are too connected to work, there is one sign, and that is the hormones. Hormones in your body will also reflect or react to that uncomfort. So when you are addicted to work, the hormones in your body will also push you to work harder. You sometimes can think it is a good thing. I'm a lazy person, so I should be motivated. That is not motivation. So long term, it is going to unbalance your lifestyle. So it is always important to set the boundaries for yourself. And when you are doing a job, it is really important for you to understand what is the scope of the job. The beauty of it is, if you are very good at disconnecting yourself from work, it'll give yourself time to reflect, relax, and have the experience of the personal life. And with that personal experiences, with that holiday mindset, with that Christmas mindset, the great time that you spend with your family, you bring less stress to the workplace. That be reflected in the work you do. That be reflected in the projects that you carry on. That be reflected even in the studies you do. So make sure that you find your boundaries, you find your scope. If not, speak to the right people. Next up is your health. There is no better gift than having a great health. Leading a great health will lead us to achieve so many things. That's why there are so many programs, there are so many projects, yet the stats are still showing the health and stress levels are still in lower levels. Now, it is really important for us to understand that this is our body sending us a message for us to realize, you are overworking, you are burning yourself. So because of that, it can lead to anxiety, insomnia, stress, and maybe you gain more weight. All these things can be related to your overworking pattern, how you work, how many hours you put in, and at the same time, you still feel like you are behind the schedule, you are behind the tasks that were assigned to you. But it is really important for us to realize it is not only ourselves who are behind the goals, who are needing more support. There are so many people just like you and me who will need that, right? So bowing down to that process will help us to understand, my health is also important. By doing that, you are doing yourself a favor and your workplace and the community as well. Your family, friends, and close relatives, and your community and the neighborhood that can be the best support mechanism or the ecosystem that anyone would have in their lifetime. But sometimes when you are unable to disconnect yourself from work or the working patterns, what you do is you replace or subscribe to the fact that you don't have time. So sometimes it is really important to maintain a schedule. Maybe in your workplace you are using Microsoft Teams. Maybe you use Calendar or iCalendar. So use these opportunities and jot down your tasks. And when you do that, you know these are the time scales I have. But at the same time, I got 2 hours of the day today to spend with my family. So small things like that will give yourself that breathing space that you can spare to spend some time with them. And the worst part of it is sometimes you think, yes, they have to understand that I'm busy at work. It might be my own business, or it might be that I'm working for someone else. But when I'm busy, I always think, I expect them to understand. I expect my friends, I expect my relatives, I expect my family to understand that I'm busy. But they are feeling that distance. They are also feeling that anxiety, the stress, because there is no connection anymore. And it is really important to maintain that connection to have a sustainable work and life balance. There are so many stats by CIPD or Institute of Leadership Management or even SIM that they show these people who overwork, they disconnect themselves from families, from communities, from neighbors, and this will have huge long-term impacts in their life. So it's the learning curve for this is making ourselves the schedule that we can understand this is the time I'm going to dedicate for my work, and this is the time that I should spend with family. See, at the end of the day, passion is the bedrock of everything. Passion is the human instinct to drive the workforce. Passion is the thing which is deep down inside us that will help us to come up with better ideas and tackle the issues. But unfortunately, when you overwork, that passion dies within you, within me. And instead of that, we subscribe to the fact that we need to spend more hours in the office and we need to spend more time on the projects that we are doing. But that is just for the sake of doing. Passion, creativity, these things will only exist in a free mind. The mind should be relaxed. When your muscles are relaxed, it gives you the room to imagine. So, a great way of doing this is, in workplace, sometimes we have holidays, right? So let's assume someone got 35 holidays. Rather than keeping it towards the end of the year, a very good way of doing or of using your holidays would be breaking them up into short burst sessions throughout the year. Take 2 or 3 days every 2 months. So by doing that, you give yourself that space to travel, spend time with family, spend time with friends, and go for a concert, go for a countryside and relax yourself. So that relaxation you bring back to work will help you to imagine, will help you to be creative and deliver that next project with a lot of passion behind it. So if you are spending more hours in the office, that might be a very good reason, that you are overworking and your passion is dying. So it's a sign that you need to use as a guiding light for yourself to get a break. Give yourself a break that you deserve. Come back, use that imagination, use that creativity to bring the very best in you to the workplace. So there's an interesting case study coming from Japan. Japan is famous for so many things, right? Japan is famous for Six Sigma and efficiency and everything. But unfortunately, in 2018, when they did this research and survey, they found out just over 52% of the workers took their paid time off. Is it a good sign? It is not. The reason is they call it Karoshi. Karoshi means slow death by overwork. This is one thing that Japan is focusing more and more in the years to come. They need to make sure that so many of their workers taking their paid time off to pause themselves and relax and bring that creativity into the workplace. So stay tuned, stay positive, relax, take a pause. I'll catch you next week.